Hi, welcome to Stratco, and today, our how-to clinic, we're going to build a Stratco pool pump cover. It's a great product. It comes in two exciting colours, in merino and slate grey. Today's unit will be in merino. Measures 1.5 by 1.5 by 1.5 metres. It's got a couple of unique features only available at Stratco, and that is it's made out of Stratco's Smart Span sheeting. A really strong profile due to its design. And we've also got hydraulic arms to allow the roof to lift nicely that I'll show you today. There's really four quite practical, easy steps to build a pool pump cover. So the first one is the roof, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. The second one is three walls, which is the left and right and rear wall. The third step is the front wall, which includes the door. And lastly, the fourth step is putting on the roof. So off we go. So we're just about to get underway. What tools will you need for the day? So we'll need a Phillips head adapter for your drill, also a tech adapter, 5/16. All of the fasteners come with the pool pump cover, which is excellent. You'll also need a 1/8 drill bit, a tape measure, just when you're checking off all of the bill of materials and you've got them in the right order for the install. A pot rivet gun, a drill. You'll also need two trestle tables or a sawhorse, and most importantly, your PPE, so a suitable pair of gloves and safety goggles. So the first thing you'll notice when you open the box is how well it's packed. You'll see the instructions on top, all of the fixings and latches that come with the unit, some of the cappings and the strapping that we require for the doors and the roof, and some corner brackets. So what we're going to do now is lay it all out and then start the roof. Okay, so the roof construction. We've laid out our two 1500mm sheets. You've seen how they're overlapped. A couple other little tips. When using the sawhorses, it's great to have a bit of padding on them just so you don't scuff your sheets during the install, as we'll flip them over at one point. You could use the box that the pool pump covers come in as extra protection. And a number of the flashings, the coloured steel flashings, all come with a protective film of plastic on them. Very important to peel that off as you build your Stratco pool pump cover, because if you leave it on there under our beautiful Australian sun, it'll blister and then you'll never get it off. All right, let's put this one on. And just before you put your first screw in, make sure that hole is centered to your ridge. And just as you're putting your screws in, handy little tip, hold the sheet from underneath, and you'll see every time we drill into the steel, it gives us some swarf. Just make sure we wipe all of that off, and we wipe it off when we're finished so you don't get any staining. So now we're starting the side flashings again. We just peel the plastic off and simply slide them on. And just before we put the front flashing on and we actually put the screws in, ensure the sheets are hard up against the channel. And where you do have the holes, like this one here, make sure they're centered again to the ribs, and that'll ensure that you're square. when putting on the roof latch, we position it 700mm in from the end. So, and really important while you're putting in these wafer head screws that you're doing that into the bottom of the pan so you don't see it on the opposite side and it's covered by your flashing. So now that we've done the roof itself, we'll start on our first wall. So just one simple overlap. We've got 7 of these walling channels, so they're easy to identify. I'll just put this one on now. Again, just make sure your channel's hard up into your sheet. And when you've put your channel on, just make sure it's level with the end. And again, where your holes are, that they're centered with these ribs. And for the wall sheets, we use just the plain screws with no washer to go into the zinc aluminum frame. And just when you're putting your screws into the channel, as per the instructions, leave these 2 and 1 spare, because that's where we'll put the corner brackets in a moment. Okay, well done. So we've now built the 3 walls and we're onto the door, the last full sheet. So it's good to see we don't have many parts left. The door sheet is the 1290mm sheet and it comes with 2 of these channels for the top and bottom and 2 side channels for the top and bottom. Just one of the tips when you're putting this one on, you can see that one of the lips is slightly longer than the other. So the longer lip goes at the back. So we'll just put this one on now. The top channel, goes over the side. When you're doing the door, don't forget to flip it over and do the reverse side with your 4 10x16 screws. Now we are just going to put on the door hinges, so they just need to be level with the channel. So we've almost completed our door construction. We've just put on our first jamb and now we're going to put on the pad bolt plate and the pad bolt. In this instance I'm setting it maybe about 3/4 of the way towards the top. You sort of need to choose whether you're going to do that before you decide whether you want it left or right handed. If you're just going to put it in the middle, it doesn't matter really whether you have your door hinged left or right because you can just flip it. But I'm going to set it a little bit higher, which means I'll have it hinged on the right hand side. So the door plate itself requires 2 fixing screws, just the 10x16 wafer heads. Now we'll put on the pad bolt. So we're up to the last of the bracing. We've just got 2 braces to put on the back of the door to make that really strong for our new pool pump cover. And same as the roof, where we'll do a 1/8 hole through every second pan, then pot rivet them through the reverse side. So we'll just start that one now. And now we're going to put together our 3 walls using our corner brackets. We put 1 in the top, 1 in the bottom. Each one of them we put in 4 10x16 plain screws. So we'll show you how to do that one now. Now we're just doing the front wall channels, the smaller ones at the top. Just getting those holes to line up, like so. And we'll put a 10x16 in there. We measure 830 mil from the front to the beginning of the bracket. And now that we've built our Stratco pool pump cover, the most exciting part is actually closing the roof for the first time using the great gas struts. By grabbing the roof latch handle, simply clips in on the reverse side of the door. And we've got a couple more features of the Stratco pool pump cover. One of these are the cover sheets. So your kit will come with 2 of these. So if in your application you actually need to put your piping through the back of the pool pump cover, which the instructions cover, there's 2 of these that you can use to cover those holes. Additional are the hold down kits, which you can normally put on the inside. So if you're bolting down to a concrete base or pavers, then your kit comes with all the fixings that you need.